y'all, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome back to another episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we headed up to Scotland to help build the city of Glasgow up by delivering it fish, steel, and whiskey via transporting them with ships across large bodies of water. And in this episode, we're going to head back to our campaign and see what is our next objective. You might notice that the continue button is unable to be clicked. That's because I had a save file there and I deleted it because the recording I made previously, well, before I even made this one, it didn't do so well in my editing program. So, even though I completed that mission, we're just going to go back to campaign to basically do it again. Because, why not?
Mankind is constantly creating amazing new inventions. It's the dawning of the 20th century. The west coast of Mexico at the close of the 19th century. An unassuming spot with an auspicious name, Topolobampo, with a climate milder than anywhere else. Plains as fertile as the Garden of Eden. And in the mountains, untold riches. The perfect place to make a utopia come true. A life of freedom and equality for all.
So this is basically our next objective, to help build the city of Topolobampo in Mexico, between the years 1885 to 1895. As you can see, the bonus tasks already been completed, and you might notice there are two buttons. These normally occur when you have a save file on these campaign missions. The continue button will basically go back to your last saved progress, and restart will basically get you back to square one when you start off the mission fresh. We're going to do the latter as we head to Mexico to build ourselves our little utopia.
You have just bought a patch of land from the Mexican government. Here, your vision is supposed to become a reality. A free and fair society. Together with a few like-minded people, you are going to build the city of the future in Topolobampo. It shouldn't be all that difficult, since you've already built several railway lines, successfully. Welcome to the City of Dreams. You set out to come here in order to establish a society where no one has to suffer hardship. Everything will belong to everyone and be available in abundance. Large numbers of men and women want to join you, with permission to build their dwellings precisely according to their ideas. Start off by obtaining the necessary material. Excellent raw materials can be found in the surrounding area. All you need to do is get them into town.
But before we do that, welcome to sunny Mexico and our town and base of operations at Topolobampo. As you can see, we're in the desert location again, as you've seen in episode 1. But as you can see, there's a couple of industries here to serve, along with some unique ones, such as this logging camp and the silver mine. But the most unique industries is the silver spoon factory, aka a silverware factory, a distillery, a cacti plant, a cacti farm, and a guano warehouse. You probably do not want to know what guano is. And the two towns dotting the map, Topolobampo and El Forete, which we could either deliver passengers by rail or by boat. But considering our trains have basically made us a pretty good profit in passenger service in the last game, we could basically do the same one here. We'll place a 160-meter station both here and El Ferrete and operate a train between them. First of all, we gotta get rid of this road. Oh, it seems like there's a new bulldozer sound effect. That's because this game now features the brand new Transport Fever 2 summer update. And place it here. That'll give us a great deal of coverage, and now we can start laying down the track. We'll lay tracks out of town and build a sweeping curve. Go up a bit. Take a bit of a left. Build a bridge. And then carve a tunnel through the mountain before connecting it to the town of El Ferrete. Now for the freight stations. We'll put a 240-meter station here at the silverware factory, as well as here at the distillery. We'll also place down a pair of 2-track terminal cargo stations, one at the silver mine, and one here at the logging camp. We'll also need to place down 1-track stations, such as this, next to the cacti farm, and a 3-track, once we get rid of these roads, at Topolobampo's downtown, where the logs are needed in the industrial district. Like so. Now we can start laying down the track work again. We'll build the track outwards from here, build them forward. We'll also do this. Add a passing track there. Activate the slip switches. Get rid of this and this. And just try it again. Jeez, who knew slip switches would be so difficult on these type of curves? Add a slip switch with this in the way. Great. Alright, then add something like this here. And then basically build around and not through the silverware factory. And then connect to the track here. And since the track is good connected here, we can basically make it a nice curved track out. Do this. That. And do it there. Perfection. Let's see. Now, I probably was just checking to see on how silver spoons can be traveled by boat, but anyway, we'll build over the main line again and connect here to the silver mine. Place down a passing track there, and then build a set of double track to allow the log and silver trains to pass by without them waiting at a signal. We'll also connect this, extend this out, and then connect to this logging camp. Oh, we also got to connect the silverware factory to this track again. Not yet ready for signals, although I do want to fix the groundwork around the track there. We'll build a loop track around this. And then connect it here. Then we'll build another passing loop. Construction not possible. Too much curvature. Construction not possible. Alright. Build over this, and then simply snake its way towards this. Now with the track work finished, we can now start adding the signals. We'll add some two-way signals in this area, as well as on the other side of the bridge. Here in El Ferrete. As well as here in Topolobampo near the logging camp. The diamond intercrossing. Well, the diamond crossing, basically. And then finally, let's place down some one-way signals. These normally go better on two-way track with passing sidings or on two-track main lines. And that is basically it. All the track is signaled and is all ready to go. Now we need to purchase some trains. We'll build a siding, place down an engine depot, and see what equipment we have for sale. So as you can see, we only have 4 locomotives. We have the Baldwin 6 wheels, which we had in our first mission, but we also have 3 other trains. The 440, the General, the 280 Baldwin Class 56, aka the Consolidation, and the 260 Mogul. Even though we have the Baldwin 6 wheels, the passenger cars that we had around its time is not here anymore. If it was there, we would personally run the General with them. So we'll have to use some modern equipment. We'll use the Baldwin Class 56, as these engines are capable of hauling both passengers and freight, and we'll assign it to the passenger service. Then we'll need to operate a pair of log trains from the logging camp to deliver wood to both Topolobampo and the silver mine, as the logs will be useful in supporting the mine shafts. We'll then purchase another 260 and have it to the brim with boxcars. Basically, a capacity of 140. Basically 20 cars to carry cacti to the distillery. And then another mogul with 20 gondolas to basically deliver silver ore to the silverware factory. And let's set up the routes for each train. We'll call this passenger train, just passenger train, because there's already 2 destinations. And since the logging camp will be serving 2 trains, we might as well call them by their letter and what cargo they carry. Such as this case with freight train A number 1 carrying logs. Then we'll do the same for the train delivering logs from there to the silver mine. And then we'll start adding the silver ore train as freight train B. Full load, 10-minute wait, and then freight train C carrying cacti bound for the distillery. Alright, since the cacti train will need priority to get to its destination, we'll assign it to the line first. Then the silver ore, then log train A, then log train number 2, and then the passenger service. Away our vehicles go. And now that the trains are running, our industries are now ready to transport commodities bound for their respective destinations. As we got logs, silver ore, and cacti waiting to be picked up, which is perfectly usable for our system to earn a profit. So we have about nearly 70 units of silver ore. We have like over 70 units of lumber waiting to be logs to be picked up. And what about cacti? Only 20 units as of right now. But the passenger station is starting to look good. There's 23 passengers waiting to board the train bound for their destination. Alright, so once this 260 mogul arrives at its destination, arrives at the switch heading to the logging camps, it will basically, as right here, turn straight around, make it head straight towards the logging camp to pick up its load. As the same for train number 3. I turned it a little too early. Then turn the passenger train around to pick up passengers at Topolobampo station. Wow, that was a really fast loading. There's a lot of logs heading towards the silver mine, so it should be able to at least make some money to cover its operational costs. Let's see, what else? Plus, our silver train also made its very first profit, which, basically, once this information is in good shape, let me have a look. About 138k, which is actually pretty darn good. The log trains will make their priority to their destinations, while the passenger train waits patiently to proceed onto the main line. Speaking of main line, I forgot to basically add these important elements, these whistle posts. You can't have a tunnel on a railroad without these signs warning you about a tunnel ahead. And with 30 passengers aboard, the 280 will basically head straight into El Ferrete to pick up a load of passengers bound.
The project is growing and thriving. Thanks to the high-quality materials, the buildings that have gone up look downright stately. The first settlers have moved in, and everyone is working busily to make the perfect society a reality. But a fulfilled life includes more than just work. Physical well-being, fun, and amusement are just as important. Make sure that the municipal facilities of Topolobampo are furnished with the necessary consumables. May health and a zest for life pave the way.
Now, we're not only going to deliver logs into Topolobampo, but some special commodities around the map. Let's see what this one needs.
The city of the future will lure plenty of guests who want to marvel at this model of success with their own eyes. That's why the hotel should be fitted with only the finest furnishings, with stylish eating utensils, for example.
Which is apparent because there's a silverware factory nearby. And what about this building?
The men and women of the colony are strong and healthy. But in spite of that, if an emergency were to arise, it must be ensured that the surgical instruments at the hospital are guaranteed germ-free. Medical-grade alcohol can be manufactured for this purpose from the large numbers of cactuses on hand.
which can be brought in from this distillery near El Ferrete. Oh, bonus task time.
A real streetcar, the kind they have in all the glamorous cities, would suit Topolobampo to a T. It would give the members of the community a chance to take a load off their feet.
This is basically where we can get a special badge, so let's do it.
The streetcar is a good thing, but on no account should what the draft horses leave behind be allowed to end up in front of the town's prestigious buildings.
Indeed. As you can see, there are red circles around both the hospital and the hotel. We can't let any of the horse-drawn trolleys stop at any of these areas. So, let's place down electrical trolley lines and connect to the residential, commercial, and industrial districts around Topolobampo. Plus, our station could not only serve the residential district, but is also quite close to the train station. We'll place one here in the commercial district for those who need to go shopping, as well as placing them here for those who are interested in going to work.
The streetcar is amazing, except that it doesn't stop where people want to go. Thanks to advanced technology, the line could run in the center of town without horse manure lying around everywhere.
Huh. Seems my passenger train fixed that problem. So, now we need to operate electric trolleys around town. We'll call each one Trolley Service A, and then Trolley Service B. And since this is going to get quite crowded, let's put 4 of these trolleys onto number A, and 4 of these to number B. Plus, we also gotta deliver some commodities into town as well. We'll start off with delivering some medical grade alcohol from the distillery into town. On track 2, Freight Train D, Medical Alcohol. And then, Freight Train E, using track 1, Freight Train E, Silver.
Thanks to the miracle of electricity, now the streetcar can service all the important places. As if that weren't enough, with a pleasant fragrance too.
Okay. Anyway, so, silverware. And now that I think about it, there's 8 trolleys. So, I'm just gonna sell them all off, and then just assign 3 trolleys to each line. And now, we need to get some equipment for these new operations. Since the 440 is still... since the distance between, well, the silverware factory and town is quite short, we'll assign it to Train E. And for the mogul, it'll pick up a load of alcohol at the distillery and bring it into town. Perfect. And it's blocking the main line. Great. Fortunately, I could just turn my train around and give it some room to go through the signals. And at the same time, it can pick up an extra bit of passengers at the station. Meanwhile, how much money has this train made? 1.7 million. That's basically pretty darn good. Now it's 1.8 million. 69 passengers. That's pretty good. Alright, so the mogul will head through the tunnel and then just go onto the passing loop, and then just quickly make it so towards the distillery, let the path of the train through. To be honest, the signaling system in this game is a lot much better compared to some of the other transport games I've played, because at least these trains know when the signals are set to danger and when the tracks are clear. So our little 440 is able to pick up a good load of silverware to bring into town. So we've got the full load in 10 minutes. So it just needs to be brought into town, and I believe we only need to deliver at least one of these to basically access the next part of our operations.
Wonderful. The fundamental needs of the community are provided for. Even more is being produced than the colony needs for itself. To enable prosperity to multiply, the surpluses produced so diligently and with lots of enthusiasm ought to be exported. Earnings from the export trade would be helpful during this crucial phase because several investments to the benefit of one and all still lie ahead. Decide which commodity you want to export overseas for the benefit of society.
We will basically do that in the next part of this episode. So, this is the end of part 1, and part 2 will be coming up this Saturday, as since these missions are going to get longer and longer, I'll have to do multiple videos. So, if you enjoyed this first part of this episode of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new videos uploaded every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule, and to basically thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!